Recently, I was reading John 10 and even John 15. I see that Jesus uses analogies here. And you'll find that Jesus uses parables and Jesus uses analogies. They're both similar. Parables use analogies or other comparisons. An analogy is taking something, talking about a subject, but simplifying it to explain it with something familiar that we recognize. The person that taught me how to do plumbing and HVAC was a very good teacher, and he used to explain to people he taught and customers on simple analogies, and it would help people that couldn't understand the more complex things and showing them something similar and familiar that they could understand, and it would bring a new realization to them of what's going on. Jesus does this with the sheep and the shepherd in John 10, and he does this with the vine. He does this with the vine and the branches bearing fruit. So this led me to watch a video on how to properly prune something like an olive tree or a fruit, stuff that I grow is peppers and strawberries and tomatoes. So on these plants, sometimes for the tomatoes, the strawberries, and the peppers, you get branches called suckers. Funny word, but they literally suck the nutrients up to these branches that just keep growing, 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 growing. And they overshadow the plant. And it prevents the tree, the plant that has the fruit being able to produce off certain branches. The sucker takes away all the nutrients from these branches that bear fruit, and it just keeps on growing and growing and spreading out, and it won't allow airflow through or sunlight to collect. So the branches that should bear fruit, they don't as much because of these branches. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to cut them down, and it almost looks like the tree or the plant becomes a little barren. After you trim away all that excess that bears no fruit. And that's something that God does in our lives. So when you read John 15 and you see how he said that you cannot bear fruit unless it's from the vine. The branches cannot bear unless it's from the vine, and you have to abide in that vine. So the branches that bear no fruit, he cuts away. He says he purges the plant. He purges us. So the things that bear no fruit in this life toward God, if you're a believer in Christ, he purges it. He prunes it out of your life, removes it. The distractions, the things that you want to just keep on growing in, but it bears no fruit to God. And he makes room so the branches that can bear fruit do. And the same thing goes for the natural way of strawberry plants or tomato plants, is you get rid of these branches that bear no fruit and you make room for fruit to grow. The same thing goes for an olive tree. And olive trees, it's amazing. If you watch a video on how to properly prune an olive tree, they can survive almost anything. And you could have them grow different ways, tall, not tall. It's amazing on how Jesus uses analogies to compare something familiar to us. And all it takes is a little bit of research. God bless you all.